Salam everyone, and welcome back to the Let's Talk Sis podcast. I am married to Tilahun, aka TheSudopian, and I am your host. If you are new here, welcome. I really hope that you subscribe and do come back again. If you are returning, welcome back, sis. It has been a minute and I miss you guys. I just needed a week, I guess, to myself. I needed some time to just kind of get everything together mentally because I kind of was slowly falling off track. Just kind of, there's been a lot happening. So I just needed some time to just kind of gather my shit together, I guess, to say the least. But we're back. Your girl is back, better than ever. And yeah. So really quick before we get started on today's topic, I would just like to wish some of my friends and family a Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak. I know I have a lot of listeners who do celebrate the holy month, so I am wishing you a blessed month, and I'm praying for your strength, I'm praying for your prosperity, and I'm praying for many blessings for you. So let's get started. Let's talk sis. Last week on my Snapchat, I asked you guys what you wanted to hear me discuss on my podcast. And wait. First off, I should just thank you guys because you guys are extremely supportive of me. And I was flooded with different topics. But for some reason, it seemed like a lot of the requests I received were all relationship based, and that was kind of interesting to me. But we gonna talk. We're gonna talk about it. We'll discuss it. But okay. So I am a very private person, and I don't really ever share my personal life too much on my social media. With social media, it's weird because you might think you know somebody and everything about them, when they could just be sharing the smallest part of their life. So this is kind of new to me, sharing my life with you guys in, I guess, a vulnerable way. But y'all know this is a no-limit podcast. So we talk all things and everything, and we really get raw here. So yeah, I'm kind of stepping out of my comfort zone. But so the request that I got the most was to discuss how to deal with a bad breakup and a heartbreak. Keeping it real with you guys, I actually needed some time with this one. I really just needed to reflect on this topic and properly gather my thoughts and opinions on this situation because I wanted to speak to you guys honestly. And by that, I mean I needed to get raw with myself. I just wanted to be real with you guys and not just, give you some bullshit. I need to stop cursing so much. My mom was like, I listened to your podcast and I'm so proud of you, but stop cursing. So I have a feeling my mom's going to be listening to this one. So I'm going to try to keep it clean from now on. But so I just needed some time to just gather my thoughts on this one because I have a lot to say about this, and I didn't want to give you guys mainstream responses just get over it, or I didn't want to just tell you guys the basic things that we hear a lot when it comes to breakups and relationships and dealing with a bad ending and dealing with heartbreaks and whatnot. So I just needed some time to look back on my situation because I have been involved in a bad breakup. I have had my heart, I don't even want to say my heart broken. But in my 24 years of living, I've been in 2 relationships. One of them was in high school, and to be completely honest with you guys, I don't really even consider my high school relationship all like that just because I was so young and I wasn't even really invested in it that way. I'm talking mentally, emotionally, I wasn't really invested at that time because it was all so new to me, and I was, like I said, I was so young. I was only in high school, so I didn't even really know anything about relationships all like that. But my second relationship, which was my first serious relationship ever, was when I was in college. So yeah, we met in college. This was my first serious relationship. I had a lot of my firsts with this gentleman. And it was, if you guys know, you know, your first relationship is like, it's your first relationship, you know? I guess in any serious relationship, that person becomes your best friend. And that's what he was to me. He truly was my best friend. I mean, we did everything together. We talked about everything together. Most of our time was spent together. You know, so if we weren't in school together, we were out doing things together. He had an apartment at the time. I was living with my parents. So a lot of our time was, spent at his apartment and whatnot. But yeah, so the relationship was cool. The relationship was great. I'm not here to bash my ex in any way. That's just not me. That's not my personality. That's not my style at all. I have nothing but love for him. But I just want to share my experience with you guys and talk to you guys about how I dealt with this breakup, because this breakup was, more than anything, this breakup was confusing to me. Now, I don't want to get into detail about, my relationship or what went down or why we broke up or anything like that, because that's all personal. But when I say confusing, I mean as in, I never knew at that time, that you could just like have this connection so strong with somebody and then it could just change. Now, by change, I mean, I didn't know that, things could just go so wrong so quickly and hearts could be broken so easily. Does that make sense? But, yeah, I just didn't realize, the amount of pain that comes with heartbreaks. I know that might sound crazy, but I truly did not realize that. That was just something that I don't want to say that it's something I never knew, but it definitely was something that I never had to experience before, prior to this. So, being my first serious relationship, my first real relationship, I never experienced pain in that sense because I've never lost somebody that meant so much to me like that. But yeah, no, heartbreaks hurt. I don't care what anybody tells you. If you're really invested with that person, if you really had love with that person, losing anybody that you truly love and that you care for, it hurts. That shit really hurts. And that's just the truth. People can, make it seem like, oh, no, it's nothing. You just got to move on, get up, go right to the next person. Nah. At least for me, it wasn't like that. I couldn't just dead the whole relationship and just move on so quickly because we were both so invested. I put a lot into this relationship, and I couldn't just get up and go right on to the next person. Nah, that was 2 years of my life that I just, I spent with that one person. You feel me? So it wasn't like I could just get up and move on. I mean, the opportunity presented itself, believe me. The opportunity was always there. I could have easily just been like, okay, yup, I just got out of this relationship last week and I can just go right on to this next guy. But I could not do that. just even the thought of entertaining somebody else wasn't even on my mind because I needed that time to heal. I needed that time to acknowledge my feelings. I needed that time to acknowledge the hurt, and figure out how I was going to deal with that. And it's not easy. No matter what anybody tells you, it's not easy because, like, when you get out of a relationship, you have to start a whole new routine, I guess, you know? Everything that you were so used to doing with that person, you don't have that person anymore. So now you have to learn to do things, I don't want to say like on your own as if it was like I was dependent on him, but there was a routine. You get me? In any relationship, there is a routine. So now I had to learn to just kind of deal with everything on my own as a single woman. It was no more, thinking about me and thinking about him. It was just thinking about me. And that could be difficult when you're just getting out of a relationship because you have this routine with somebody. You're so used to doing everything with that person, talking to that person daily about any and everything. Like I said, he was my best friend. So losing a best friend is difficult because it's like, now who do I talk to about this? I didn't even want to talk to anybody about what I was going through because I just wanted to talk to him about it. But obviously the circumstances wouldn't let that be. You know what I mean? But yeah, no. Okay, so let's get into how I dealt with it. When we broke up, I wanted to feel hate towards him. I think that's naturally when you get out of any relationship, you want to feel like you want to have, I guess, resentment towards that person, right? Let's just be honest. Like, let's just keep it real. This is the truth. You want to feel resentment towards that person. Because in any relationship, it's always going to seem like a blaming game type of thing. Oh, he did this. No, she did that. Or, so it's like you want to put the blame on that person and make it seem like they are truly the reason for your heartbreak. They're the reason for what you're feeling and whatnot. So I wanted to feel, at the time, I wanted to feel like I hated him, right? But it seems like as much as I tried to just shut him out, as much as I tried to act like I wasn't affected, to act like the relationship didn't exist or whatever we think as females, something in me just knew like that was not the way to do it. I couldn't heal by hating. I couldn't fix myself, fix my heart. I couldn't repair anything that I was feeling internally by putting off more hate into the world. So the way that I dealt with this breakup was, number one, I needed to accept it. I think with any trauma that you experience, it's hard to accept that it happened. It's hard to face it, but I think that's number one. You need to understand that it happened, and you just need to accept it for what it is, all right? The second thing I needed to do was release anything that I kept bottled up within me. I'm talking about what I was feeling, what I was thinking. So if you have, a family member or a close friend that you trust, like I'm talking about you really, really, really trust, who, has your best interest and will give you advice, talk to that person. You don't have to do it alone. Like, you really do not need to deal with this alone. So I'm so grateful that I had a best friend. I had that one person that I was able to talk to about it. I was able to, cry to my friend. And, they listened. They listened to everything that I needed to say. Sometimes you don't even need someone to speak. You just need somebody to listen. And in my case, I needed somebody to just listen. And whether it be me talking, whether it be me crying, I just needed to know that I had someone, I wasn't alone. I wasn't going through that by myself. So I'm grateful for my friend who was there for me when I was going through this breakup. My friend who, helped me really get through it by reminding me that, it happens. This is life. Things like this happen all the time, but you have to just get up and live your life. So, number one, accept it. Number two, talk about what you're feeling. Don't keep it bottled up. You're not alone. Number three, find something to distract yourself. So for me, that was, finding a new hobby, finding a new activity. And for me, that was doing more makeup. I know that sounds crazy, but when I was in my relationship, I wasn't really serious about taking on clients or, just being serious about my whole makeup thing. Makeup was always something that I loved. And now that I was out of this relationship, that meant that I had much more time. So I was using my time wisely, and I was doing something that was bringing in money. So it was a win-win situation. I was loving everything about makeup. I loved every minute. I loved my clients. I loved my creativity. That was when I really found out how creative I was. I was getting booked ridiculously. Like, I was really getting booked. I was doing weddings. I was doing birthdays. I was just doing it all. So I was booked. And being booked meant that I was, my time was occupied. I didn't have free time to just sit around and be devastated. So I was doing something that I loved. And I'm really grateful for that because, it kept me busy. So definitely, I would say find something that you love, pick up a new hobby, a new activity, and just do it. If you're doing something that you love, you just won't even realize that, you don't realize that you're being distracted. So definitely do that. And, what else can I say? If you're like me, you're the type of person that needs closure. I am a Virgo, and I'm a strong Virgo at that. So I need closure for everything. Good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. I need my type of closure. I need some type of closure. And my closure with the breakup was forgiving him. I know this may not make sense to a lot of you guys, but please hear me out. Forgiveness is so important. When I was younger, my dad used to tell me all the time, like, if someone does you wrong, you don't do them wrong, you just do them right. You forgive them and do them right. Okay? And I would always hear that, and I just never understood it because I always kept it in my mind like, nah, if somebody hurts me, I'm going to hurt them back because I want you to feel what you made me feel, right? But that's weak. I think weak people do that. But when you're able to forgive, let me tell you this. Forgiveness is not for that person. Forgiveness is for yourself. When you forgive somebody for whatever, that means that you have come to terms of accepting what happened, accepting what you felt, accepting what that person did. It's not necessarily excusing them for their action, but it's a way of you letting go. Honest to God. Now, I'm a very prideful girl. I'm extremely prideful with everything that I do, but I had to learn to just set my pride aside, in certain things in my life and learn that, in order to be stronger, you have to do what you may not feel comfortable with. And in this case, it was forgiving. I needed to forgive and let go for me, not for him, but for me. Even to remain friends with my ex, I really needed to just forgive him. Not excusing what happened, not excusing how I felt, not excusing, what he did or what he said or what I did or what I said, but I needed to forgive so that I can be free for myself. I'm not saying forget. You don't need to forget. But definitely just forgive for yourself, because you will feel great. I don't know how else to say it, but you will feel amazing once you truly forgive. Now, I'm not saying say you forgive them and just keep it pushing like that. No, you actually really need to sit down, whether it be meditating, whether it be praying, talking to God, or whether it be talking to that person. I don't know, but do whatever works for you, sis. You need to forgive so that you can really heal. Because when you forgive, you are ultimately saying, I am aware of what happened. I acknowledged how I felt. I acknowledged, what I'm thinking. But I want to let it all go. In order for me to move on, you need to forgive. Now, when you don't forgive, it's always going to be in your mind and it's always going to be in your heart. And when you have that, when you do that, when you let something linger in your mind, linger in your heart, you carry that with you. That's extra baggage. Now, think about when you step into a new relationship with somebody and is it fair to them that you're bringing in this baggage from your past relationship because you haven't forgiven that person because you didn't want to let go for you? And now, you're bringing all this toxic energy into this new relationship. It's not fair. It's not right. So definitely look into forgiving. Definitely pray about it, meditate about it, do what you need to do, but you need to forgive for yourself. I think this is the biggest thing in any breakup, any trauma that you may experience. You really need to forgive, because if you don't, you're always going to hold on to it. And the more you hold on to it, the more negativity that's going to be within you. And I knew that in order for me to have my peace, to have my clarity, I just needed to forgive. Yeah, I'm not saying call up that person and let them know you forgive them. No, that's personal. That's within you. You don't have to share that with that person and let them know that you forgave them. But when you acknowledge it and you do it for yourself, you just won. It gets easier from there. It, honest to God, becomes easier because you've let it go. You've come to acceptance and you've just let it go. And there's nothing so much more peaceful than that. So, as you guys know, on this podcast, we do have a Sis Talk segment. That is where you can email me on anything that you would like my advice, my take, my opinion, my input on. And I will give you my honest response. Now, if you'd like to email me, you can go ahead and send me an email at TheSudopian@gmail.com. That's TheSudopian@gmail.com. You don't have to share your name, but you do have to tell me your age so that I know that I'm giving you, age-appropriate advice on whatever it is you need advice on. So I'm going to go ahead and read today's email and we're going to talk about it. So this email says, "Hi, Mary. I just want to say congratulations on starting your podcast. I love every episode so far. You are so relatable, and I'm thankful that you are sharing your voice with us. I've been following you for a while, and I love everything that you do. Please be more active and share more with us. We love you, girl. Keep going." Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that, and I love you too. So, Mary, just like you, I'm Abasha, and you know how our parents can be when it comes to dating. Yes, I do. I would like to know what you advise on my situation. I'm seeing somebody, but I don't necessarily feel like I can really see myself with him. And with that being said, I started talking to somebody else on the side. Me and the other dude are not exclusive, and we don't say that we're in a serious relationship. But I definitely am talking to somebody else. Am I wrong for this? Okay, so first, hey girl, hey, salam. How old are you? Oh, you put it in the subject. Okay, so you are 23. Okay, so, all right, so first and foremost, yes, I know how our parents can be about dating. Man, dating with Abasha parents is dating doesn't exist. It's either, you're single and then they just expect you to get married. But it's like, how can I be married if I'm not dating? So I feel your pain on that one, sis. But also I want to just give you a little quick advice. Just because you're dating, you don't necessarily need to make your parents aware that you're seeing anybody until you are serious about that person. So I don't know, your email wasn't really that clear. I don't know if you have made your parents aware that you're dating. I mean, that's cool and all, but don't bring anybody home until you are actually serious about that person. If you actually, see yourself in a serious relationship with him, if you see some sort of future with that person, then I would make my parents aware. But if I'm just talking to somebody, my parents do not need to know about that, because God knows how long that's going to last. You feel me, sis? But, so yeah, that's my take on that, because I know exactly how our parents can be. They're extremely strict with dating. So, now you said that you have been talking to somebody, but you don't really see yourself. You don't see a future with him. So you started talking to somebody else. And if I think that that's wrong, I don't think that that's wrong. I do not. But I think it's wrong if he doesn't know. So if you're talking to this man, if you're, taking up his time and he's taking up your time, but you're also talking to somebody else, he deserves to know that. You feel me? That he really does deserve to know that, especially if you guys are not in a relationship, because he might be pursuing you. He might be, his head might be he might be in cloud nine. He might be thinking, okay, I really like this girl and we're going to get far. And, he might have some more expectations. So he deserves to know that you are keeping your options open by talking to other people. Just let him know, I am talking to somebody else. I don't want you to think that you and I are exclusive, or whatever the case may be. But he definitely does deserve to know that you are, there's a possibility that you are, you might be pursuing somebody else, because that's his time as well. You feel me? Now, as far as, do I think it's wrong that you're talking to multiple people? Not necessarily, as long as there's boundaries with everything. My definition of boundaries, obviously respect yourself as a female. If you're seeing multiple people, I hope you're not, taking it to another level with these people, with each of these people, physically. But, I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping your options open. Like you said, you're young, you're what, 23 years old. So you don't need to be tied down just yet. Respect yourself. You know who you are. You know yourself. So yeah, that's that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping your options open. Getting into a relationship is not easy. You don't want to get into a relationship with just anybody. So when I say keeping your options open is important, I mean it's important so that you know what each one of these men have to offer. And if you decide, okay, this is who I relate to more, this is who I can see myself in a relationship with, then you can go ahead and pursue that and let the other one know that he just didn't make the cut. But obviously do it respectfully. Just let him know I am talking to other people. I don't want you to, don't have him under the impression that it's just him, because that wouldn't be right. Just like you, it wouldn't be right for you. I don't think you would appreciate it as well. So I don't think it's wrong. Just be respectful about the entire situation. Let both of them know that you don't need to tell them who you're talking to, but let them know that you are seeing other people at this time. You are keeping your options open. And if they can't respect that, then girl, that just makes it easier for you to, make your decision. So that wraps it up for this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please do leave a review. I love hearing everyone's feedback. I know this episode was a little bit lengthy, longer than usual. So let me know how you feel about that. Let me know if you guys actually like the longer episodes, or if you prefer them to be short and sweet. like my other ones. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that feedback. You can keep up with me, connect with me on Instagram. That is at TheSudopian. That's at TheSudopian. It's all one word, no spaces, just at TheSudopian. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to talking to you guys in our next episode. Until then, salam everyone.